Anyway, I know a lot of people like Ben Shapiro, and again, I think on this one, I don't know enough about him, so I'm not trying to go to war with people about Ben Shapiro. You know what I mean? I'm not attacking your identity as a Ben Shapiro fan. I think on this one issue of rap, he's very ignorant. He says, "Fact: rap isn't music, and if you think it is, you're stupid." What a fucking weirdo. What a weirdo.
Weirdo. It's
Weirdo.
2012.
Well, he still
A
didn't
long time
erase
ago.
it.
I mean, yeah,
I would
that's
erase
obviously
that.
still a bad take, but
Fact: rap isn't music, and if you think it is, you're stupid. That's the thoughts of a great intellect.
Ay.
You're stupid. Anyway, again. So this was my favorite thing that came out of it, which the moment I saw him reading those lyrics, it reminded me of, you guys remember Vince Staples'
Yes, the lady.
what was this song? I really like that Vince Staples song. Some soccer mom was crying, super offended by his lyrics, and then somebody.
It's called North North.
Yeah, North.
North.
And so she started crying, and then she read the lyrics to the whole song. Maybe I should just show it because it's such a classic.
I think we've talked about it on the show.
I think so too. But just to refresh for people who don't know, because it's literally so funny.
And Skylar's in the background, so if she comes up here and wants me to hold her, she might. Okay, so
this is literally what Ben Shapiro did. She was reading the lyrics about how outraged
So I'm
she
on
is.
my way, taking the kids to school in this morning. I have an 11-year-old daughter, Aaliyah. She loves that 104.5 radio station.
Satan's show.
It's the top hits, right? I remember listening to the top hits when I was a kid, like Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera and Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. And nowadays,
also all very sexualized.
it's not the same, right? Not the same at all.
They cut out her crying. She started crying there.
And this rap song comes on. Guys, I could not believe what I was hearing. And as a mom, it infuriated me. Like, why is this on here? And I started to get tears in my eyes. It upset me so much. And my 11-year-old daughter listens to this radio station. I looked up the song and I looked up the lyrics. I cannot believe this stuff is on the radio. I'm sorry. Okay, and I'm going to read it to you. And I want you to just listen to the words. Some of this, I'm going to cuss. I'm just going to repeat what it says.
Trigger warning.
All right. Okay.
I'm trying not to get claimed here, but I want to play a little bit. How do I do this without getting claimed? I can't. She goes,
Oh, we could do it for the members only and cut it.
members only. If you want to hear us watch this whole thing, subscribe and be a member. And you can watch it there. Right, Dan?
Yeah. Isn't she just going to read it, though? Why do you think
No,
that
but
we're
there's
gonna get
music.
claimed?
She's play.
Oh,
They
she does play
remixed
the
it with the
song.
beat. Yeah. So members only, go watch this epic reaction. So let me play you Vince's response because it was so perfect. Vince said, "It's pathetic to attack someone for having an opinion on feeling some type of way, for wanting her children not to be exposed to something. Because I'm 100% sure my mother would have loved for her children not to be exposed to gang life. The difference is it wasn't on the radio. It was in our house. It was outside. It was in our schools. And it was at our churches. It was everywhere that we were. So it was kind of a little bit harder. If I have children one day, I would hope that they are never exposed to that. But when you have people who are able to, just write people off as they don't have an opinion or feeling or motive behind the things they say, that's the corny part. You're worse than her because she shared her opinion. She never once said anything negative about me at all. Her statement was that she doesn't understand how this is getting to major airwaves, which is debatable. It's fair for her to feel that way. And most of all, she kind of felt bad about the fact that it was possible that these things could actually really happen. Shouldn't we be, happy that someone actually is considering the fact that the stuff that I'm singing about that really happens is being passed off as fable or just ignoring it?" It's kind of an interesting take.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, this shit happens. It is that sad. But I thought it was actually because people were really like clowning on her, and he was he was like
Yeah.
hardcore defending her, and every time people asked him about it, so I thought that was sweet. Regardless, we were here to talk about Ben Shapiro, and I was setting that up because, of course, the moment I saw him reading the lyrics like that, I was like, "Oh boy,
Where's
Vince
the
Staple
remix?
again." So, of course, Dr. Grande delivered, and what, in my opinion, was the best one, and I saw a lot of them. This was by far the best one. So good. Shout out to Dr. Grande.
Whores in this house. There's some whores in
Yes.
this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. I said certified freak house. 7 days a week. There's some wet ass P word. Make that pull out game weak. Yeah, you effing with some wet ass P word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass P word. Give me everything you've got for this wet ass P word. Beat it up, N word, catch a charge.
Ooh.
Extra large and extra hard.
That beat's
Put this
up
P word
hot,
right in
heavy.
your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card.
Ooh.
Hop on top, I wanna ride. I do a kegel, well, it's inside. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. This P word is wet, come take a dive. It continues along these lines. And it gets significantly more vulgar. Like a lot more vulgar.
Here's a part where Ben goes on to say that
There's something that is
listen to
going
this.
on here that is not biologically normal. And by the way, the song is so unsexy that it frankly sounds...
vagina getting wet is not biologically normal.
What does he mean?
It's just the funniest cell phone ever.
It's like somebody describing what amounts to a serious condition that requires the care of a doctor. So, fortunately, I know a doctor, who is my wife. And so I asked her.
Who
for a
doesn't know
medical
anything about
diagnosis.
wet vagina either? I mean, the layers of self-own is so good.
And she looked at the lyrics herself. And after being kind of appalled by them, obviously, she had a
Obviously.
few sort of indicators here on how she could diagnose the vaginal condition that apparently these women are suffering from. So there are a few sort of giveaways. There are a few sort of giveaways
Oh
here.
my
So
God.
What is this promo? Look, what do we watch? We got to do this, Dan. To watch the rest of our podcast, become a member. Ooh, I like this. I'm just gonna I'm gonna block all the video after like an hour.
first of all, a bucket and a mop for this.
So
wet
wait, he
ass-
plays the whole thing but just covers it? That's crazy. Look at this. They actually do that.
That is good.
From 30 minutes, he covers the whole thing with a timestamp or watermark.
Isn't that annoying?
Yes, that's awesome.
So first of all, she had to clarify whether wet ass P word was a description
like, how
of the
badly do you need to see him talking though at the same time?
P word or whether one of the clinical symptoms here was also diarrhea.
Diarrhea.
Bring a bucket and a mop. So this suggests that there's an awful lot of, not to be too graphic, but some sort of medical discharge that's happening here. Like a lot.
Ben, I
it,
think you're
I think it
fucking
suggests
shit.
that there's humor, something you're
Yeah.
not aware of.
No, it's like
It's
dude,
a condition you're not familiar with.
I think it's hyperbolic there, Ben. I think
Yeah.
he may be overanalyzing the statement. He's like, well, okay, so she's got a lot of moisture down there, and it doesn't seem medically correct. So I consulted with the doctor. They said, well, maybe it's diarrhea? Maybe it could be some kind of medical condition.
I
So I
mean,
went
if
to a
you
specialist.
need a mop, then you really gotta go to urgent care.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
So I went to a specialist. I consulted a world-renowned doctor. Jeddah. We had an hour-long conversation. I read a medical journal. It's like, it's just a joke, bro.
Much. Right, a lot too much, because that's a symptom of something that is not going great. Apparently,
it is
there are
going- it
signs
sounds
of
Yeah,
weird.
pretty good.
Yeah.
and I say that because hop on top, I want to ride, I do a kegel while it's inside. So there's some signs of some actual clinical prolapse, which is a problem.
Wait, is he trying to be funny?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
A
unfortunately.
clinical prolapse because she wanted to do a kegel, and that sounds great. I mean, that sounds like something I would recommend.
Also, there's some talk about where this person is putting their nose, and there's some talk about smelling. Right, there's a line here about gagging
think-
and choking, which suggests that perhaps there's an
ahead.
odor issue here. Also,
Come on, he's kidding. There's an odor issue from sniffing the butt. Oh, dude, this is hilarious. But he's not laughing. This has to be a joke.
at some point in here, there's a reference to diabetes. About a person who engaged in particular activity and ends up diabetic, which suggests a serious pH imbalance. So I asked my wife.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
I don't think he's kidding.
How could you say that there's an odor issue from sniffing an asshole? Gagging. I mean, imagine this. Imagine that. You sniff the asshole and then you gag. That's fucking incredible.
Wife for a differential diagnosis for the sake of these ladies in case they need to go to the doctor. I mean, like this is a problem. I mean, like if this is like there's water pouring out the front doors of this place, and that ain't water, guys. I mean, that's what I'm being told. That ain't water. So the medical diagnosis.
It's new. It's news to Ben.
He doesn't know what it is, though.
That's what he's been told.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeesh.
How Ben is not a sexy man, so I think I don't have a hard time believing that Ben's never encountered a wet vagina. I mean, when you hear him talk, it's not very sexual. It almost makes me think like when he like performs sex acts, it's like chalk. Probably like chalk inside. It just goes, then like chalk comes out.
Oh.
No. I thought it was fine.
Here was her differential. Her differential diagnosis, my wife, the doctor, was either these women are suffering from bacterial vaginosis or a yeast infection, or my wife suggested most probably they are suffering from trichomonas. So just a bit of,
I don't think his wife's ever experienced being turned on before. Because they're both like super orthodox, you know?
of medical advice. You know, put aside the empowerment. I mean, I understand how empowering it is for women to sing about the moisture state of their genitals. And I understand that anybody who criticizes this as reductive of female sexuality and or of putting out images of females as over-sexualized in a way that is negative, that puts a negative images.
We're just watching this.
I know, bro.
And drives negative images toward women for men, treating them as sex objects.
We got to do
I
this.
understand
You know
that-
what would be the best is if
But
you
I
were
can
watching.
still visualize him in my head, you know? I know exactly. I was like,
I love that they have to blur the out. You don't want to even see it. What we need to do, Ela, is do this on our show of watching him. So you're behind two paywalls, effectively.
we didn't even pay for you guys to watch him at least at the pool.
No, you have to. Yeah, for members only, we'll pay.